Hi there, I'm Richard Murphy, Technical Marketing Engineer with the Collaboration Business Unit. This demo will talk about Video Mesh Lite, one of the new components as part of the Video Mesh software that's available to you and is also part of the WebEx Edge for Meetings umbrella of products. So you may be saying to yourself, what is Video Mesh Lite? Well, if you know about the installation process, there was a full version and there was a demo version. Now we have a full version, but there's multiple options within inside of it, one of them being Video Mesh Lite, the other one being the ones applicable for the CMS 1K and the older MM410V. So why did we end up doing this? Well, what we did is we looked at the analysis of all of our customers over the last several years and looked at how much of the CPU processing goes toward transcoding and what kind of utilization is being utilized by all of our customers across the board. Then we said, let's go ahead and optimize that because the majority of them are not using the full potential and hardware that's available to them. And can we actually increase the capacity as a result of that? Hence, we came up with this new idea called Video Mesh Lite, which enables you to take a single CMS 1K and convert it into multiple different software images. So in this chart here, you can see Video Mesh Lite is 23 vCPUs, 20 gigabytes of RAM, and 80 gigabytes of hard drive space required for each one of those systems. So what do I mean by each one of those systems? So if you look down here in the bottom, particularly in the blue side of things, that's the existing hardware. The Cisco Meeting Server 1000 hardware platform is on the left, the first one. And then if we take that and divide that 70 vCPUs that's available to us into multiple different OVA images, we can create 3 different video mesh installations on that same hardware. So we have Video Mesh 1, Video Mesh 2, and Video Mesh 3 on that CMS 1K. Same principles can be applied to the MM410V, but we can only support 2 different video mesh nodes. As a result of that, you'll get increased capacity. So let's walk through the demo now and see how this is actually done in the systems when you actually do an installation of Video Mesh Lite. So now we're going to go to the Control Hub. We're going to go ahead and download the software. So we'll go to Services. Then we're going to go down to the Video Mesh section of this. And then we're going to go ahead into the Video Mesh. We'll view all. And then we're going to go over to the Settings area. And then scroll down to the bottom. This shows us where our OVAs can be downloaded, either the full or the demo. We're going to download the full version, in this case for VMN Lite. We're going to save it to our hard drive. Now, once that 1.6 gigabyte file is downloaded, we're next going to go ahead to vCenter and install that OVA. Now, we're going to install it on the CMS 1K, as you can see here. We're going to deploy a new OVA template on that particular CMS 1K that we've removed any existing video mesh nodes on it. We'll select the actual downloaded file. So we'll now install that particular file onto this new video CMS 1K. We'll give it a name. In this particular case, we're going to call this instance VMN Lite-1. And then from here, what we're going to do next is we're going to install that particular OVA. So we'll click Next, make sure it's on that CMS 1K that has no other software on it. Click Next, and then once it comes up, does the installation process. It'll give a verification of the details of it. And then here's the key part. You can pick which template you want, VMN Lite, which is the default, or the older CMS 1 or CMS 1K, or the MM410V, which is the older one. Of course, we're doing the VMN Lite because that's what we called it. Now we're going to click Install, Thick Provisioning. We'll do the appropriate VLAN for our particular environment, and then we'll hit Next. And once we've done that, we'll go ahead and look at the template. I went ahead and just gave it a host name in this particular case because it's Video Mesh 1 here in my environment. And then hit Next. And then we're ready to go. So you can see it verification of it, and we install it. Now, through the magic of video editing and also not to bore you to death, we're actually going to go ahead and do this process 2 more times. So we have Video Mesh Lite 1, Video Mesh Lite 2, and Video Mesh Lite number 3 installed on that CMS 1K, as you can see here. So now that I've got all 3 of those OVAs installed, we next need to go ahead and make sure that they are powered on and configured. The configuration steps aren't shown here, but we'll need to change the admin, password, IP address settings for each one of those VMN Lites 1, 2, and 3 in order to proceed with the installation process so we can get access to the web page and configure the rest of it. If we go to the actual URL of the web page, you can see here I have videomesh1.ucdemalab.com, and I'm on the overview page. You also can see the deployment type that actually is set to VMN Lite, and you can also see that the CPU is set to 23 cores. The same will be true for Video Mesh node number 2 and Video Mesh node number 3 on this particular CMS1K. Now what you noticed here is under the registration portion of it, we have not registered it. So you would follow the same process you did before and register the Video Mesh node to the Control Hub so it is available for clients to use as a meeting resource. This slide shows the whole registration process. We've installed the software OV8 onto the platform, the CMS1K. Now we actually need to register it to the cloud. You'd follow the normal process you would before by going into Control Hub, either selecting an existing cluster or creating a new cluster. Then from there you would say, okay, I want to register a node, give it the IP address or the FQDN of that particular video mesh node. You'd have to do it for each one of those new VMN Lite that we installed. So I'd have to do that 3 different times for each one of them to be registered. And then once it goes through the authentication process, the node will actually register with your organization, perform an upgrade, and then it's available for you to use as a media resource for any of your meetings. Thank you for watching this short video, and hopefully you found it informative. Thank you.